I'm Donna, and today I'm going to show you how I make my Bolognese sauce. The ingredients that I use are tomato puree. I use approximately 4 to 5 cans, and 2 cans of tomato paste. I cut up 2 yellow onions and probably 5 or 6 cloves of garlic. I also have here, which I'm going to saute this in extra virgin olive oil to start, and I'll go over how I do that, but you'll need Italian seasoning, whole oregano. I like to add a little bit of spice, so some crushed red pepper. And I have pork and any type of beef. This happens to be sirloin, and I actually cut the sirloin up into little chunks that will be cooked into the sauce, and also some sausage. If you have fresh basil in the house, then you can add that to your sauce, but I happen to not have that at this point, but I did make some homemade pesto, and you'll see I'll add a nice dollop of this homemade pesto to the sauce just to give it some more flavor. Let's start first by pouring a good amount of extra virgin olive oil on the bottom of the pan. I turned up the heat, and now we're going to let the olive oil get hot before I start to add my onion. You'll know that because it'll start to sizzle as soon as I drop an onion in. You know you're ready to add the onion as soon as you start to notice that it bubbles. And as you'll see, it's starting to bubble. I know this seems like a lot of onion, but you want to get this just sweated. Okay, I'm going to turn down the heat a little bit because I don't want to burn my onion. Turn it down to a little bit of a simmer. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of salt on top. Okay, and let that sit for at least 5 minutes. The onions are starting to sweat down. They're becoming a little more translucent. So at this point, I'm going to add my rolled garlic. We don't want to burn the garlic, so I'm just going to add it, stir it in a little bit, give it about 2 minutes to start to cook, get into the oil, and add that delicious flavor. Okay, it looks like the onions and the garlic are ready. You don't want to do too long. You can smell the garlic. It smells so good. I wish you could smell what I'm smelling right now. Oh my goodness. You can tell everything is starting to look good. It's time to start adding my tomato puree. Each can, I use my spatula just to make sure I get out every drop. Now it's time to add the tomato paste. I'm using 2 cans because I find that this helps to thicken up the sauce. And it's also packed with so much good tomato flavor. Now I'm going to give it a nice quick stir before I add all the rest of my ingredients. I'm going to add a nice dollop of this homemade pesto sauce that I made. It's so good. This will add a nice rich flavor of basil to the sauce. Since I don't have any fresh basil, this is packed with a lot more basil flavor. Now I'm going to add some Italian seasoning. I just sprinkle a little bit in just to cover the top. A little bit of whole oregano. Again, I just sprinkle it in. I don't measure it. A little bit of crushed red pepper just to add a little bit of spice to it, not much. Whoop. Okay. And then I happen to have some fresh oregano, which I love. The smell of this is so good. So I'm just going to peel it. Push it in, and again I'm just going to stir all my dry ingredients. So in the meantime, what I'm like to see is I want to have the sauce come up to a little bit of a boil. I don't want to burn it. Then I'm going to put it down to a simmer and I'm going to add my meat. The last step is to add the meat. I like to brown the pork chops. Now these do have the bone. I like to do this only because it adds some more, the caramelization adds some more flavor to the meat. And also the bone actually helps a little bit too. You just have to, at the end, after this is done cooking, you have to take them out and just remove the bone and put the rest of the pork back in. So right now I'm just going to add each piece into the sauce. I also browned all the sausage. I'm going to add all my pieces of sausage in. And finally, this is the sirloin pieces. You can add any kind of beef actually to this because it cooks long enough, it's going to break down and it's going to become nice and fine that it breaks apart. But important step, make sure you remove all the fat off of your beef. Like you can see, I pretty much removed all the fat, and also on the pork chops too, or any of the pork. I'm going to add this. Okay, I'm going to bring the flame up a little bit because again, the temperature of the meat is going to cool down the sauce. I want to get it back up to a good temperature so that it's going to cook. And once it starts to bubble, I'm going to turn it back down to a simmer. I'm going to cover it partially because I do want all the steam that's coming off is actually all the moisture. It's going to thicken up the sauce, which we do want. And I'm going to cook it for approximately I like to cook it long, so 3 to 4 hours. Okay, after approximately 2 hours, 2.5 hours, I removed, using tongs, carefully removed the meat, place on a plate. I kind of separate into 3 little plates. This way it can cool off. And you'll notice, just fish around, make sure that there could be a bone left over from the pork if you did use bones. But what you're going to notice is, this is a piece of the pork. Look how tender the meat is. It's just going to crumble and just crumble it back, right back into the sauce, like so. And you'll see that all the meat, I mean, this is still a little bit tough because I did use sirloin steak, but I'm just ripping it up. If I use probably any kind of other beef, like a rump roast or a chuck roast or anything like that, it would have broke down probably a little bit quicker, but it'll continue to get softer. And I'm just breaking it up into 2 little tiny pieces and making sure that I get every little piece of meat. And this is what's going to make my Bolognese sauce taste so good. Okay, now that all the meat is broken up, let's mix it all in. Stir it. Look how thick that sauce is. Oh my goodness, does that look so tasty? Wow. Now that's a Bolognese sauce. And here it is, the Mama Bolognese sauce. I hope you and your family enjoy this delicious meal. Please subscribe to Mama Donna. Goodbye.